It was a crisp Tuesday morning in Orlando, Florida, January 24th, 2006. Jennifer Kesse, a vibrant 24-year-old with a promising career and a new condo, was living her dream. She had just returned from a romantic getaway with her boyfriend, full of hope for the future. But that morning, after locking her door and stepping out into the world, Jennifer vanished, never to be seen again. What happened in those fleeting moments outside her home? Nearly 2 decades later, her disappearance remains one of Florida's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. This is the Crime Decoder, and today, we unravel the chilling case of Jennifer Kesse. Jennifer Kesse was thriving. At 24, she was a finance manager at a timeshare company, known for her ambition and meticulous nature. She had recently purchased her first condo in the upscale Mosaic at Millennia Complexa, symbol of her independence. But the area wasn't without its shadows. The complex was surrounded by active construction sites, with workers frequently milling about. Friends later recalled Jennifer mentioning unease about some of the workers lingering near her building. She'd even taken to locking her doors religiously and staying vigilant. The night before her disappearance, January 23, 2006, Jennifer spoke with her boyfriend, Rob Allen, who lived in Fort Lauderdale. Their call, around 10 p.m., was warm and routine, nothing out of the ordinary. She told him about her day, her plans for work, and they said their goodnights. Jennifer went to bed, ready to tackle another busy day. The next morning, Jennifer followed her usual routine. She showered, laid out her professional outfit, a blazer skirt, and Hilzan left her condo around 7:45 a.m. She locked the door behind her, as always. But somewhere between her doorstep and her car, something went terribly wrong. Jennifer never made it to work. By mid-morning, her coworkers noticed her absence. Jennifer was never late, never missed a meeting. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Concerned, her colleagues contacted her family and friends. Her brother Logan and boyfriend Rob began calling anyone who might know where she was. By afternoon, panic set in. Her parents, Drew and Joyce Kesse, drove from their home in Bradenton to Orlando, desperate for answers. That evening, the Orlando Police Department arrived at Jennifer's condo. What they found was chillingly normal. Her bed was neatly made, clothes laid out as if she'd just chosen her outfit. Her luggage from her recent trip to St. Croix was still unpacked. The shower was damp, suggesting she'd used it that morning. There were no signs of forced entry, no blood, no struggle. It was as if Jennifer had stepped out her door and vanished into thin air. 2 days later, on January 26th, a breakthrough. Jennifer's black Chevy Malibu was found parked at the Huntington on the Green, a condo complex just a mile from her home. The car was abandoned, its interior wiped clean of fingerprints. Not a single usable print was found, not even Jennifer's. Whoever left the car there wanted no trace left behind. Investigators turned to surveillance cameras at the Huntington complex, hoping for a lead. What they found became the case's most infamous clue. Grainy footage of a person walking away from Jennifer's car at 12 p.m. on January 24th, just hours after she vanished. The figure, dubbed the person of interest, was dressed in what appeared to be work clothes, possibly a painter or laborer's uniform. They were estimated to be between 5 feet 3 inches and 5 feet 5 inches tall. But here's the haunting part. Their face was completely obscured. Every frame of the footage perfectly aligned with fence posts in the foreground, blocking their identity. It was as if fate itself was shielding this person from view. This shadowy figure became the centerpiece of the investigation. Was this Jennifer's abductor? A witness? Or just someone who happened to park her car? Detectives canvassed the area, interviewing construction workers, neighbors, and anyone who might have seen something. They questioned known offenders in Orlando and followed up on every tip. But the trail went cold. No witnesses reported seeing Jennifer that morning. No signs of a struggle were found. And the person of interest remained a ghost. Investigators were baffled. How could someone abduct a woman in broad daylight in a busy condo complex without anyone noticing? And why was her car moved just hours later, only to be wiped clean? The lack of physical evidence left detectives grasping at straws. For Jennifer's parents, Drew and Joyce Kesse, the pain of her disappearance was unbearable. They refused to sit idly by. They launched a tireless campaign to find their daughter, appearing on shows like 48 Hours and America's Most Wanted. They distributed thousands of flyers, organized search parties, and created a website. Find Jennifer, Kesse.com to keep her case in the public eye. Every tip, no matter how small, was chased down. But each lead ended in heartbreak. The hardest part wasn't just the lack of answers, it was the silence. Jennifer was a vibrant woman with a contagious laugh, a love for travel, and dreams of starting a family one day. Now, her life was frozen in time. Her friends kept her memory alive through candlelight vigils and community events, determined not to let her name fade. To them, Jennifer wasn't just a missing person. She was a daughter, sister, a friend, and a symbol of how someone can vanish in a world full of people and cameras. The Kesse family faced another challenge: the slow pace of the police investigation. They felt the Orlando Police Department wasn't doing enough, wasn't sharing enough. Frustration grew as months turned into years, with no answers. Over the years, several theories have emerged about what happened to Jennifer. One theory points to the construction workers at her complex. Jennifer had mentioned to friends that some workers made her uncomfortable, with reports of unwanted advances or lingering stares. Could one of them have been watching her, learning her routine? The complex was bustling with laborers, many of whom were transient and hard to track. Another theory suggests a crime of opportunity. Perhaps someone saw Jennifer alone that morning, maybe as she walked to her car and acted impulsively. Quick abduction, her car moved to throw off suspicion. But this theory raises questions. How could it happen so quietly in a busy complex without a single witness? Some speculate Jennifer may have known her abductor, someone who gained her trust or caught her off guard. Others wonder if she was targeted because of her job in the timeshare industry, though no evidence supports this. Despite extensive searches, forensic tests, and interviews, no definitive suspect has ever been named. The person of interest from the surveillance footage remains unidentified, their role in the case a lingering question mark. By 2018, the Kesse family had had enough of the stalled investigation. It took a bold step, suing the Orlando Police Department to gain access to Jennifer's case files. When they finally received the documents, over 16,000 pages, they were shocked. Evidence hadn't been fully examined. Leads hadn't been followed. There were even reports of items in Jennifer's condo, like a DVD player, that may have held fingerprints but were never tested. Armed with the files, the Kesses hired private investigators to pursue new leads. Even now, nearly 2 decades later, they continue their fight for answers. Jennifer's case has become a rallying cry for families of missing adults, highlighting the need for better investigative transparency and resources. Jennifer Kesse's disappearance is a stark reminder that even in broad daylight, in a bustling city, someone can vanish without a trace. Her story has inspired countless others to advocate for the missing, to demand answers, and to never give up hope. For more true crime mysteries that demand answers, subscribe to the Crime Decoder. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a case that keeps investigators and us up at night. Until next time, keep searching for the truth.